Lord have mercy. I should have given myself more time, y'all. I was scrambling. Actually, you know what? I gave myself enough time, but one of my friends called me when I was trying to put some food in my face just before beating the face to come on here and at least try to look a little presentable. And that call ended up being a good 40 minutes, 45. So, yeah. Hello. We're already off to the races. We're already off to the races. I don't even have my outline, y'all. So bear with me. I do want to, as usual, be respectful of y'all's time. I want to make this as time efficient as I reasonably can. But there's a few things I want to talk about on this evening, or for me this afternoon. It's only 4:30 out here. But I'm hoping that y'all can hear me. I'm hoping that y'all can see me. It's saying that everything is working the way it's supposed to. I can see my fro looking funny from the headphones, but that's okay. This is Underdawg by Fenty. I'll link it in the D box after this is done, but that was part of the scramble, child. I was hustling to try to get myself looking somewhat correct. Somewhat correct. I'm still wearing a onesie, mind you. I'm just wearing a onesie. But yeah, I was hustling. Gabrielle Brown, long time no see. Hello, miss you. Yeah. It has been so weird, especially editing myself, because here's what I think happened. I have been out in LA since I was in college, when I was 17 years old. I came out for college when I was 17, okay? And I am from Queens, originally from Brooklyn, but my parents moved us out to Queens when I was still a little thing. So that's my accent. And then I get out here for college and everyone's just like, oh, ha, 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 say coffee, say coffee. And it gets on my nerves. So I learned how, through echolalia, I learned how to kind of replicate the accent I'm hearing back to the people I'm with out here in Cali. And I was able to maintain that for quite some time. And then COVID. And I started spending a lot of time alone, a lot of time without being around other people who sound the way, the TV talk is what I call it. No accent. It's just, obviously everyone has some kind of accent, but the no accent is what I call TV talk. And COVID basically was like a factory reset. I went right back to bridge and tunnel, like gum chewing trash. It really is something. Because when I edit myself, I'm like, girl, what is you doing? You sound real bridge and tunnel right now. I'm sorry, y'all. But you're going to have to bear with me. I'll do my best to not drop my R's tonight. I'll do my best. But hello. Oh, of course, now my mouse wants to act crazy too. We'll have to use the trackpad. Hello. And yeah, here we go. Yeah, I think I'm a good mimic anyway. That's just a weird little parlor trick. It's like I'm not bad at mimicking and kind of like doing impressions lightweight. So I can, if I'm around it enough, I can sound like you. But again, the factory reset. Ciao. All right, we got to get into this because a lot has happened. It hasn't even been 24 hours, I don't think. But I just want to start things off with this. This is from 2019. The Stallion, Tina Snow. I also can't believe that I collaborated with @Nicki Minaj. This woman is one of the greatest to ever effing do it. Thank you. And then Moon Maiden anew. She knew better than Meg did. Megan, I love you, but this piece ain't gonna last. Again, that is from August 2019. Because we've been new how things tend to go when collaborating with Onika. Or even not collaborating, just existing as a woman in the rap game. As a rapstress, it's not going to go well. All right, so for those of you who don't know, because it hasn't even been a day, and I'm surprised I even know about this, but it kind of has been dominating my timeline since last night. But I don't follow Meg, not because I dislike Meg. I had a finite amount of twerking videos that I could tolerate in my lifetime, and I reached that limit back when I followed Meg the Stallion. So I support her from afar. I still root for her. I still believe her, because some of these people in these streets still don't believe her and want to accuse her of lying about many things. But I think you guys know the main thing I'm talking about. Um, and yeah, I mean, I can root for people from afar. I don't need to see the cheeks on a daily basis. That's just not my thing. And as far as the other party in this rap beef, never followed. Have a few songs on my likes list in my streaming service. Still listen to them. The Verse and Monster, probably one of the best ever done. Whether it's a self drag that your best verse is a feature, I don't know. That's not for me to decide. I'm not in the game. But yeah. So Meg dropped a new track last night, and she's coming for some necks in it. It's called Hiss. And I don't even know who some of these people being referred to in the song are, because no names are named. Clearly, some of it is referring to the ex-boyfriend, Pardigan, whatever his name is. And there were a couple bars that seemed to be referring to someone who's been coming for her, if we're being honest. This is Meg responding to someone who is coming for her. But in any event, Megan Thee Stallion dropped scorching new single titled Hiss. And as you can see on the little screenshot I have for you guys here from the Melanin Shade Room, one of the bars in question, perhaps the main bar in question, was, "These hoes don't be mad at Megan. These hoes mad at Megan's Law." I don't understand being mad at someone else when you marry the zest offender. Why are you mad at everyone else when you married and procreated with the zest offender? It's confusing. Here's a larger version of the same type of thing. These blanks don't be mad at Megan. These blanks mad at Megan's Law. So that was what did it, because Onika Mirage was up. She was still up, just on the internet, chronically online, you might say, and responded. She responded. So she went live on Instagram, I believe, and she was playing, I think it's about 3 bars, maybe 4 maximum, of something that she has on the way. But whether I believe that this is, you have 1 hour to respond type response, or if there's something that she had sitting, waiting for a reason, I think it's the second one. I think for whatever reason, she's had an axe to grind with Megan for a very long time. And she was just like, oh, finally, now I get to show this. Now, I'm not going to be able to play the version that has the actual track underneath, because this is YouTube. And I think that you all know how that goes. But she did play it with just the vocal several times. I mean, she played it with the beat. She played it without the beat. So we're just going to listen and watch that, because she's not on camera at all. And if you listen to the speaking, it sounds like she may not have been in condition to be on camera. But in any event, let's do this.
Play it acapella, cause I just thought I'd have a little fun. We've been celebrating all year.
Hey yo, bad bitch, she like 6 foot. I call it Bigfoot. The bitch fell off. I said, get up on your Bigfoot.
So we're gonna hear it again because she replays it, but basically the clap back to, hey, you're married to a zest offender, is you have big feet and let me also mock you for being assaulted. Let me mock you for being shot. That's the clapback. And of course, you know, the Barbs love that. They think that it's just so sharp and such a good gotcha. Amazing.
Wait, I play it again, Jermaine. I ain't hear it, I don't think.
Hey, bad bitch, she like 6 foot. I call it Bigfoot. The bitch fell off. I said, get up on your good foot.
And now at this point, this part I gotta admit is kind of funny. One of the main critiques that Megan gets, it's the same critique I gave to DaBaby back when he was semi-relevant. Every song, you know, every flow is kind of the same flow. The flow doesn't really change. And this is Nicki kind of imitating that Southern rap flow. You know, are you trying to be Bun B or Pimp C? I gotta say, this part's kind of a kiki. It's pretty funny, but also, I'm not sure how lucid Miss Mirage is during this part, but it's kind of funny, I gotta admit. Yeah, so that was the response to Meg first dropping the Hiss track, the Hiss diss track. And then Nicki continued. At this point, all the blogs know to even like clock Nicki Minaj's likes, like what tweets she's like it goes this deep. That's how long this one-way beef has been going on. At least the Megan one is. You know, obviously Nicki Minaj has many beefs, but this is one of them, and they were getting up in them likes, child. So here is one. Someone wrote, the gag is she thought she got her lick back in only for Nicki to hit with the fatality in the first 4 bars less than an hour later. Again, fatality? I don't know. I just don't think it was all that strong, but maybe that's just me. Next up, another like, now get up on yo good foot and skip ho. And I don't know what this graphic is from, but obviously the Stallion, Barbs with the pink unicorn, whatever, child. And last one from the likes that I snagged was this. Imagine dropping a song and getting ate up on IG Live by a snippet. These are all Barbs that she's liking, of course. And then female Kanye. Why? Girl, you could have kept that expletive. Okay? So then, those were from the likes. And then there was also the whole like Bigfoot thing. So someone says, post a pic of your feet, Nicki. So she does, which is in response to what is allegedly a picture of Meg's feet, which is this. What you gonna do? I mean, a lot of these celebs have jacked up feet. Let's be honest. Have you ever seen Oprah's feet? They're jacked up from wearing them stilettos and whatnot. And also, you know, Megan, she's like 5'11" or something. The Stallion, remember? So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Now let's go through some of these comments. Ciao. The hit dog definitely hollered, because how you gonna come for Megan first, then go live and drop a snippet like you ain't been having that in a vault waiting? This is what I believe for Megan to drop, just so that you can try to make fun of her getting hit in the foot. Pressed much? This is how I feel. Like, I don't think that she just happened to come. Not that Nicki's incapable of writing, what is it, like 2 or 3 bars in an hour, of course, but I don't believe that's what happened. I think that she probably has volumes of diss bars that she's been, you know, sitting on and just waits for opportunities. And I will say, on some level, I hope that all of this is just BS and it's just promotion, because quite frankly, I wouldn't have gone and even listened to Hiss without all this drama. I listened to it in preparation for this live. She's cute, she's a bop, but nothing I would have sought out. not without all this drama around it. So I feel like collusion. There might be some collusion going on, and this is just PR, this is just marketing, in which case it's very successful. But I also do think that Nicki Minaj has beef with everyone. Like, I also feel like that's a big part of it. So who the hell knows where one piece ends and where the other begins? Nicki has to stop this. It looks really bad when she continually takes shots at the women coming behind her, especially since we've forgiven her for stealing Lil' Kim's entire existence. Big agree. And I love Nicki, but this isn't the flex she thinks it is. And that's where I'm at, you know? Nicki Minaj will always be a legend in the rap game. Again, her verse on Monster is maybe one of the best in history. I would say easily up there. Excuse me, it's the carbonation. Easily up there as one of the best in history, but I feel like she's tarnishing her own legacy with these antics. Like, girl, please, we don't need to do this. I'd hate to be in my 40s still letting someone in their 20s have me doing stuff like this. Hello? Now she needs to come back and say, don't worry about my foot or my knees. You married to a ninja that can't enter Chuck E. Cheese. So people writing bars for Megs in the bars for Megs? Bars for Meg in the comments section, child. Last bit of comments I'm going to show. Also, of course, someone who is married to a man that assaults people would sit here and make jokes about another woman being assaulted. Can't expect better from her. And that's where I'm at. The idea that people think it's okay to make fun of her being shot is still appalling to me. I can't understand it either. You have the world at your fingertips. Why are you so upset? But again, just listening to her voice in that clip when she was playing those clapback bars that have probably been sitting on a drive somewhere for months, if not years. I just feel like Nicki Minaj seems like profoundly unhappy, to be honest with you. I don't know what's going on, but it's just so weird. It's so weird. Exactly. So talented, but so messy and full of nonsense. You can't want better for someone than they want for themselves at the same time. You know what I mean? So there's more. It ain't over. So after all that, with Nicki, liking these tweets and posting her little live thing and all that, and then people responding to that, then Megan calls into the Breakfast Club this morning. So I have that clip too, child. Your girl is unprepared, but she's also very prepared. I spent most of my day just preparing clips and whatnot and having to edit things. So one thing I did have to do, you guys, is censor things. So you'll hear some F-bombs and whatnot being cut out because this is YouTube. And I think you get a certain number. It's like the MPAA ratings. It's just like you can have maybe a certain number of non-sexual that gets said before you actually get the yellow dollar sign, the death knell of demonetization. But I ain't trying to risk it because I am already... Things have already gotten worse than they already were for me with YouTube. So, yeah. All right. So let's watch this Breakfast Club clip real quick.
Basically, I understand what y'all doing, and I want y'all to get up off me.
No, actually, she said...
Use something else. Do something different. Use another tactic. This one getting old.
Actually, she said, "F all y'all." And I think the people, we should play the
Fuck all
record.
you because niggas really like a noun. That's for men or women.
True, and bitches too. I get it.
It's gender neutral.
Gender neutral.
Now, I haven't heard the record yet. Are you saying names?
I'm saying a hit dog gon' holler. That's it.
Damn, so it's multiple people.
Yeah, whoever feel it, feel it.
Okay.
Did Lindsay Lohan's daddy get a shot?
Oh, God. Why the hell do Lindsay Lohan daddy wants with me? God, Lindsay don't even like her own daddy. So, like, I ain't, if he get astray, he get astray.
Damn. Well, I want you, after you drop this record, I need you to walk away from your phone, Megan, okay? Because these motherfuckers be on you for no reason.
That's
so
right.
Just be prepared for all the smoke and all the comments, but just walk away.
Oh, because they're going to act like it's unprovoked. You
Yes.
know, I'm gonna take a little nap and I'm gonna wake back up and I'm gonna see what they have to say.
Just don't get on Instagram Live, Megan. Let the record speak for itself.
Block her live.
Okay,
Instagram,
please.
if you're
I
listening,
don't
block.
even have social media on my phone, so it'll be okay.
Good.
Good.
Well, let's get into the record right now, and you're gonna be seeing it soon. I know you were just calling to send us the record, and hopefully you'll come up here and we'll talk to you soon. Correct?
Oh, absolutely, positively.
That is what I thought too, S. Marty, because the collab that they did together, meaning Meg and Nicki, was before WAP, but I don't really know at this point. Like, because as I said a minute ago, Nicki has beef with everybody. So, I mean, WAP would have been more than enough for her to feel like she had her just cause, but I don't know, man. It just seems like you're doing way too much, for all this. And I think someone said, I think I even put it on screen, that it started before, like the subs, meaning the subliminals and just the shade. I think started maybe she had heard about WAP before we knew about WAP, since she's in the industry, and that's why she started getting mad before we even knew about it. Who knows? Oops. Well, there's that. I meant to highlight this, though. That makes sense to me because she is constantly, complaining about unfair treatment with her numbers on Billboard and things like that. And also allegedly juking stats, but we don't need to get into that. All right. So then that happens this morning. And then not too long after that, the video for HISSy drops, which I, of course, cannot play. But I can show you some B-roll from it. And here's that. Just so you get an idea of some of the images. And I did listen to the song earlier today. As I said, it's more of the same from Meg, which if you like it, you'll love it. I have a few songs of hers on my gym playlist. It's fine. Similarly to the endless twerking videos, the constant talk about her gets a little tiresome for me. So it's not what I have on repeat the most. But I still root for her. I still want her to succeed. And I still believe her. I still believe her. So I believe that mostly catches us up, at least at as far as the point of me getting on this live. I believe that's where we're at with everything. The video's out. I'm sure, because she's, again, always online, I'm sure there's been more tweeting and liking of shady tweets from Nicki, but we'll have to see how this goes. Not to be all kumbaya and stuff, but I just feel like all of this rap beef shit is just so played out. It's so tired. It's so unnecessary. There's enough streams for everybody. We ain't got to do this. But I also don't blame Megan for finally responding, because she's not the one who instigated any of this. If anything, she's been drinking her water and minding her business for literal years, while this one-way beef has been beefing. So we'll have to see what happens next, y'all. So that is that on that. I mean, do I need to reprise that old tweet from 2019 that I started off the live with? Because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Y'all can be chummy until Nicki feels eclipsed or overshadowed in any way whatsoever. I suppose so, but there's degrees of messiness. Like, that's like saying, why are we surprised that anyone in the industry has a PR agent? Like, of course there's going to be various degrees of questionable dealings that go on, but there's also unnecessary levels going on here, and that's the point that I'm trying to drive home. So, not true, but okay. Anyway, that's where I'm at with it. We'll see what happens. The barbs are gonna barb, and I don't know. We'll see how this song does, I guess, because couldn't ask for better PR, could you? Couldn't ask for better PR, which is another thing that makes it strange because I'm like, you're just helping her at this point, Nicki. Like, if anything, you're helping her. The most shady thing you could do is say nothing if you really want to just let this thing get buried. But okay, go off. All right, now, remember her? She's back in the news. Rhoda. SMH, woman who claimed to have been attacked with a brick by a man, now charged with faking entire thing, falsely raised 42 bands on GoFundMe. This started recirculating sometime this week, this whole thing, with rumors that she was going to be arrested. She since has been arrested and I believe has posted bond based on some of the things I'm going to show you in a few minutes. There was also this clip. I'm going to play it without sound again because there was music playing underneath it, and I don't know what music that is, and I'm not trying to get claimed because of some background music. But social media users believe the quote-unquote brick lady, her name is Rhoda, took a trip to Jamaica with the scam GoFundMe coins. This is what I mean when I say I'm taking my life back brick by brick. That's what she's saying in the video that does not have sound on right now. She's talking about how she's traveled to 20-something countries, often by herself, after having, death threats, couldn't leave her house, all sorts of things. And she was reclaiming her life. And people were mad that the money they donated to her sent her to Jamaica, potentially. I mean, I don't really know what you guys think is supposed to happen after you donate money to someone. Do you think that you get an accounting of what they do with money after you donate to them? Because that's not how that works. Do you understand how gifts work? Like, you don't give someone a car and then tell them where they're allowed to drive it or not. So if you have a problem with that, don't donate in the first place. That should be obvious. Hello? So what can you do? That I don't know. And that seems to be the case. And it's very difficult because I keep reading different things about what actually happened and what's on the video and this and that. Slauson Girl, who is a local reporter, got a statement from Rhoda a few days ago. This is from Slauson Girl's website. Rhoda Osman interview. I am not on the run. I am being criminalized and exploited. You can see this is dated January 21. So let's get into it. The controversy surrounding Rhoda Osman, widely referred to as Brick Lady on social media, sheds light on the challenges Black women face when speaking out about violence. Osman is a mother and current PhD student at the University of Texas at Austin who went live last year revealing a man threw a brick at her face. She soon found herself in the crossfire of intense online criticism and harassment. Despite promptly seeking medical attention and documenting the injuries through video evidence, Osman has faced relentless skepticism from TikTok, bloggers, and critics. In an official statement, she expressed frustration at being labeled a liar. And that's one thing, too. It's like, whoa, I heard it was a water bottle and it wasn't a brick. Regardless, we all saw her face. And I remember when that was happening in real time, when, it was like within the week of the attack or what have you, there were people saying that it was actually an allergic reaction and she had faked the whole thing. So this woman has not been believed from day one. And while I don't think that we necessarily have a clear event of what's true and what isn't to this day, what is interesting, and perhaps interesting because it is most disturbing to me, is the rush to not believe her, to not support her, to want to prove her to be a fraud, as if that somehow absolves the very real possibility of everything she's saying being true. Because isn't that the point? I think most women out here are like, oh, that seems very believable to me. Like, as soon as I heard that story, I've thought of many situations where the same exact thing could have happened to me. And I feel like the fervor with which people are trying to make her a liar will somehow make it untrue that that is the reality for women out here in these streets. It doesn't change that. So I just don't get it. I'm trying to reserve judgment on this particular case. But regardless of what happens, it does not change the reality for women out here and violence that we are often trying to avoid and de-escalate on our own with no support, or that we're actually experiencing. That's all. Let's move along. I am not on the run. I am not out of the country. I am in Houston. I have retained a lawyer. We are dealing with things properly. I look forward to my day in court to prove my innocence. She is currently being charged with felony theft by deception. Charges say she stem from filing a complaint last November last year, citing biased treatment by the detective assigned to the case. There were several screenshots within this article as well showing her communique with the police department in Houston and whatnot, indicating that she wasn't treated fairly, which, again, even if she isn't telling the truth, there's myriad cases where identical things that have happened to other women, especially other Black women, where it was true. So I don't understand why her being a liar, whether she is or isn't, somehow changes that reality. It doesn't. Osman disclosed in an email documenting her complaint, highlighting the detective's dismissive attitude. Undeterred, she is determined to set the record straight, asserting that she is not on the run after failing to surrender this week. She is mother and has enlisted legal representation to navigate this troubling situation. The alleged assailant, Olin Douglas, has provided his side of the story in interviews with local Houston news outlets, admitting to the assault. However, conflicting narratives emerge as police claim surveillance footage paints Osman as the aggressor, though no footage has been released to the public. And this is also further confused by people digging up old videos of her in similar clothing where she like slaps a guy, walks away, and then like twerks or something. So if anything, I mean, no tea, no shade, she seems like an annoying person. Scam artist, TBD. I don't really know. I saw her face. I don't really see how you can just be like, fuck her, when you look at her face from those original videos. Adding another layer to the ordeal, Osman faces a ban from GoFundMe, citing a previous account linked to a donation request following a separate attack. So again, that's another thing. Like, I don't know too much about this previous GoFundMe stuff. But I will reiterate, like, if you donate to a GoFundMe, you don't get the room to tell people how they spend that money. If you think it's shady, if you think it's questionable, do not donate. Don't do it. Police say that no report was filed in that case, leaving Osman with restrictions on her ability to seek financial support. Undeterred, Osman plans to turn herself in this week, emphasizing her commitment to justice despite the hurdles she has faced. All right. So there are several, after I get off this live, I will leave the link to that Slauson Girl article in the D box. I forgot to do, well, I didn't forget. I didn't have time to do it before we started here. But yeah, a mess. The end of the article. What is happening to me is retribution. This is Osman in her own words. I filed a grievance on Officer Thornton before she filed charges against me. As a victim of blunt force trauma, I'm not beholden to remember every detail of my attack. This is not a crime. The level of scrutiny I am facing is unprecedented and a form of victim blaming. I cannot disagree with this. Even with having my skepticisms about like not knowing the full scope of things, I don't doubt that she was attacked, and I don't doubt that she's facing unreasonable levels of scrutiny that she would not face had she not been a Black woman. I have never been seen as the victim. I am. I have been criminalized since the moment I broke my silence and reported the violence Olin Douglas committed. People have used my trauma to exploit and engage in infantile, egomaniac, and personal projections for internet content and financial gain. This is immoral and extremely violent. So there we have it. Now, I believe since that article, which if I'm not mistaken was dated the 21st, I believe she did turn herself in, and she post bail 10 bands in Harris County. That's dated from 2 days ago from today, which is Friday, January 26th. And just since this was on that same post on the second or third slide, this is how you can't make up This is not prosthetic makeup. You know what I mean? How it happened, whether she provoked being attacked like this, like that's not even a conversation that is worth entertaining. I do believe in getting the facts of the case, but no one deserves this. No one deserves that. The internet sleuths need to hurl the vitriol at her abuser, and he admitted to it. I'm disturbed but not surprised by the cognitive dissonance around this. Yeah. Funny how quick they moved to prosecute her. Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny? Because I'm just basically going to reiterate what I've already said. Let's say she is a liar. Let's say she made the whole thing up. How does that help women? How does that help Black women feel any safer? Even if she lied, do I feel more safe knowing that that didn't really happen to her? Absolutely not. That doesn't make the world less dangerous for me if she lied. The hell? If anything, it makes it a little bit worse because now I'm even less likely to be believed potentially. But as I said with Carly Russell, the people who wouldn't believe me if I came forward with such a thing happening to me wouldn't have believed me in the first place. So that's probably not even true anyway. There's plenty of people who would rather do the research to discredit me, even if I have a valid claim, than to simply believe me because I am a Black woman. Tool up, ladies. All right, let's move on to something a little bit more light because it's already 5:07 and I wanted to get out of here in about 30, 40 minutes because it's Friday night and I'm sure y'all want to go out and, you know, twerk on tables or something. So this is a personal axe to grind for me because I don't like this guy. Saw this in my feed today. JT sounding like his old self on his new single, Selfish. And I gotta be honest with you, when I scrolled and saw this picture of Timberlake, I said, I ain't seen how he's been looking in a while. And someone in the comments said he looks like a weird cross between Hugh Jackman and Robin Thicke. And I have to agree, he don't look the same. He don't look the same. And then we also have another thing to show y'all. Or do I? Did I bring that one in? Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't. I don't know if I can do it. It might kick me off my live if I do it, is the problem. Whenever I try to import assets while I'm already live, it's a problem. So, yeah, I'm afraid to risk it. Should I risk it, you guys? Because I had a little video clip to show you. No sound again because I can't play that music. It doesn't matter because it's not good. It's not a good song. His dancing honestly like pisses me off. So maybe it's the universe being like, nah, baby, don't do that to yourself. You don't want to look at that again. But yeah, it's no bueno. No bueno. It's bad. Not huge thick. Don't do that. Don't do that. But anyway, so I think I forgot to import the clip that I actually went to the bother of editing and whatnot so I could show it to y'all. But I just wanted to show you some of the comments. This don't sound like no old JT LMAO. And I have to agree, if you hear the clip of the song, it sounds like a song that Justin Bieber rejected. And then they're like, maybe Timberlake will do it. That's what it sounds like. I'm sorry, but he pisses me off when he dances. Lord forgive me. As you can see, I hearted that because same. And this is probably my favorite comment. I'm not even going to read it. I'll let y'all read it. It's quite short. All right. But I just wanted to bring some awareness to that. Last thing I'm going to talk about is okay. For me, the thing is what the GoFundMe was open for. She needed to detailed on what the funds would be used. If not, she did not use the funds as described. It's in issue IMO. Did she specifically? I mean, I'm assuming that it was at least partially used for medical expenses, right? Because she's a student. She might not even have health insurance. And at no point when you donate to someone do you get to stipulate how they use the money you're donating. Did you donate? Because like if you didn't donate, then why are you even mad? It's not your money. I don't understand it. Yes, and he has his hands in his pockets and he's doing this weird two-step and it's very obnoxious. It's bad and I hate it. I hate it. Last thing I want to bring up, in terms of the powers that be, as they say, I don't think that this is going to carry much water, but I love to see this, and I hope that this sets an example for other less powerful powers to do the same. Yemen has issued arrest warrants for Netanyahu, Joe Biden, Rishi Sunak immediately. They will be judged most severely with the most severe punishments. Of course, that is by Yemen. So I just hope more countries start acting like Yemen. Speaking of, if you have not joined me on Patreon or Locals, I have both. And if you're wondering what the difference is between the two, there really isn't any except which interface you prefer. Patreon and Locals both have all of the same content once you actually become a supporter, meaning you're actually paying in rather than just being a member, which is free on either. You can follow me on Patreon for free, but you will only have access to free posts. You can be a member on Locals, which means you will only have access to free posts. You can be a supporter on either, which gives you access to, well, everything on Patreon, which is tiered, and then on Locals, there's only one tier. So everything that you would get on the highest tier on Patreon, you will get on Locals, except the back library of all the things that I had been doing on Patreon before I also had Locals, which is a couple hundred videos. So there you go. So tomorrow, the NatFam book club that I have on those platforms will be meeting to discuss The 100 Years War on Palestine by Rashid Khalidi, which, I mean, I feel like I probably highlighted about 50% of this book. There is much highlighting, and I think this is a very important book, and it's a very important time to be reading this book. So if you're curious about it, feel free to join us, whether you have not finished the book, whether you have not started the book. I always encourage, if you want to just come and listen and maybe learn, that is always encouraged. And the links to both my Patreon and my Locals are in the D box. And on that note, thank you, Zaina. You are loved and appreciated. Please do like the video. And that's it. That's it for this one. I really don't know what to make of Rhoda because, like I said, as bad as it sounds, like not someone who I would like seek out to be friends with. Like she just seems like not my kind of person, but that doesn't mean that I agree with rushing to vilify her until we know more information, until we know the facts. Because again, look at her face in those videos from however many months ago. Like, clearly she was assaulted in some way. And again, even if she did lie about the whole thing, which I don't think is the case, I think it's some weird, muddled, we don't have all of the facts type of thing, as I've said many times, that does not change the reality of the dangers that women face out in this world from men who are too fragile to handle rejection, to handle feeling slighted, to handle whatever. Being annoying, being obnoxious, being a quote-unquote troublemaker, which was a word used to describe her, does not give anyone the right to hit her in the face with a water bottle or a brick. That's it. That's it. Make the world safe for women even when they're annoying. For God's sake. All right. Thank you, River. I hope y'all enjoy y'all Friday evening. We are right at the 45-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Make sure y'all stay safe, stay dangerous, and never trust Justin Timberlake at any time for any reason. Bye.